when I was around 20, I went through a really stressful time and I ended up losing my period. I went and saw a gynecologist and he just said, you have PCOS, you can't have kids.
That was it? Yeah, that was the end of the conversation.
Done.
Kind of went, well, there's not really much I can do. He just said, it'll come back when it's ready.
I tend to want to ask, who's it really convenient for?
Well, you weren't even given like tools to step out of that conversation with. I think if somebody had given me like, these are some steps you can take afterwards, instead it was just like walk out the door and deal with it emotionally. And for me, it took 2 years until I was like, okay, I can deal with this now. Yeah. But what time did I lose in those 2 years that I could have figured out another option or something else?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Khush Corner. I'm Amy Ann and I'm here with my co-host.
Heidi.
Thank you all so much for joining us today, where we are changing the conversation around women's hormonal health from silence to celebration. This is your safe place to feel heard, understood, and never walk alone in your hormone journey. In today's episode, we're talking to Tash Leam. Before we dive in really quickly, at thekhushplace.com is where you not only can find all your hormone health needs, but you can also get in contact with us. You can also find us on social media at The Khush Place on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. If you're interested in submitting your story, there is a link in the show notes. You can also go to thekhushplace.com and follow the link under the podcast tab. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter to get all the latest on hormonal health. That being said, why don't we dive into our guest today? Tash is a Perth-based 2-time author of From Human Doing to Human Being and When Life Gives You Lessons, a local WA woman who's given us all permission to stop the hustle and start advocating for ourselves. As a new mum and a self-care advocate, she's here to teach us about putting yourself first. Is there anything you would like to add to that list?
No, I really like that. Thanks. Very, very flattering. Thank you.
Tash, I'm really excited to have you here with us, but to hear your incredible story. I think firstly, our listeners need to hear a bit of truth. So there is so much misinformation out there about female hormones. Amy, what's one myth we're constantly having to debunk?
All right, today's myth is that calorie deficit and fad diets are the only way to lose weight for women with hormonal issues. In fact, this actually can lead to suppressed thyroid function. Your body slows down, basically. It elevates your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So when you're on fad diets, you get more stressed out, which is not what we want, and can contribute directly to disrupting your menstrual cycles. So if you've ever gone on a strict fad diet or huge calorie deficit and your period disappeared, that's probably why.
It's very interesting because as a woman with PCOS, we're constantly told just lose weight and everything will be fine. But in fact,
eat less, move more. It's not as easy as that sometimes.
Yeah. And you know when you go to the doctors and they go through like your standard weight, height, BMI, and they're like,
I hate that.
I was a normal sized woman with PCOS. I wasn't overweight by any means, probably size 12. Like that's not overweight.
No, not at all.
But when I sat in that doctor's office, literally was at my wit's end, and it was like, she did my BMI basic and just said to me, look, you're overweight, lose weight. Yeah. I was like, wow, imagine just sitting here as a normal sized woman being told I'm overweight. It's incredible. Just because of my height and my weight.
Yeah. Wasn't the BMI based on like a 6-foot something man?
Probably. I don't think it's been proven so many times that it's not suited for women.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised because, I mean, we can get into this another time, but the research has been shown time and time again that it's not done correctly on female hormones.
Yeah.
So
my whole thing is just like the stress added of having to feel ashamed of the weight that you are, then trying to fight your own body to eat less and move more when it's not doing anything. That stresses you out even more. And then you don't sleep, and then it messes with your hormones, and it's just all a big stress ball.
yeah, it's a negative wheel
Yeah.
of death.
100% big wheel of death.
Yeah.
Which we don't like. We're not here for it. We don't need it.
We're here to change the conversation. We're going to debunk. It has been debunked. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick things off.
All right, Tash, let's go back to the beginning and tell us about your period story.
Well, I have had painful periods for as long as I can remember. There have been moments where I've just been laying on the floor at school and I just couldn't move, couldn't do anything. My dad's actually had to carry me out of places before because I just feel like I've wanted to faint. And it was really hard to deal with. And even adults would just be like, oh, painful periods are normal. And it's like, okay, cool. I guess I'll just have to suck it up and this is my life now. Yay. Then when I was around 20, I went through a really stressful time and I ended up losing my period and I freaked out because I was like, am I pregnant? And then I wasn't, thankfully. But I went and saw a gynecologist and he just said, you have PCOS, you can't have kids. And I went, okay.
That was it?
Yeah, that was the end of the conversation. Yeah, case closed. Yeah. You've just told me that option is now off the table at 20. And I just went, wow, okay. I didn't think to look into it any further because I thought he's a specialist. He knows what he's talking about. And so I went home, I cried. I didn't share it with anyone. And that was kind of how I bottled it up and dealt with it. And yeah, and then in terms of my period, I didn't have it for another 2 years. And I just kind of went, well, there's not really much I can do. He just said, it'll come back when it's ready. And
That's an odd statement. I've never heard that one before.
or, the whole, it's convenient because you can just have sex whenever. And yeah, you just kind of go, yeah, cool. But my body's not performing in the way that it's meant to. And you're saying that that's fine and that's convenient. And it's like, okay. But what can you do? At the time, I didn't know any better. So I just accepted it.
I tend to want to ask, who's it really convenient for?
Yeah. Well, we know the answer to that.
When I hear these statements, it's like, who's really benefiting? Who's convenient?
You should be so lucky.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I would love someone to further explain. I mean, not having a period is not an answer, but okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
but apparently it is. It's convenient. It's handy.
Through those 2 years, when you were diagnosed to then having a period, did you try and seek any other alternatives? Did you try anything else, or were you just like, this is it?
To be honest, I just accepted it at that time because I didn't even speak to my mum about it, and it's not because I couldn't. I think I felt ashamed.
Oh my gosh!
Because I guess the story behind it, I was seeing someone and not really seeing them, so I just felt a lot of shame, around the whole situation of how it eventuated. So I didn't feel comfortable to have that conversation with my mum. And so based on all of that, I just kind of went, oh, well, I went and saw a specialist. This is what they've told me. I don't need to look into it any further. So I think if I had spoken to someone, I probably would have felt more comfortable and safe exploring it more and being okay, what's actually going on here? Or maybe even being a bit older and, the benefit of a bit more life experience, I would have probably been, more willing to kind of go, okay, well, that's just one person's opinion. Maybe I'll go and speak to someone else, or even go back to the doctor and go, okay, this is what they've told me. What's my next step? But I didn't even think of that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't even given tools to step out of that conversation with. I have a very similar story, and same thing, just kind of left to my own devices. I think if somebody had given me
these are some things you could try.
Yeah, these are some steps you can take afterwards. Instead, it was just walk out the door and deal with it emotionally. And for me, it took 2 years until I was okay, I can deal with this now. Yeah. But what time did I lose in those 2 years that I could have figured out another option or something else?
Yeah, absolutely.
After the 2 years, what made your period come back?
I don't know, I was just over in Canada and I think less stressed. Maybe just a change of scenery. I mean, to be fair, during those 2 years, I was at university, I was really stressed out, and definitely it was probably the worst of my eating disorder. Undiagnosed was I got down to 47 kilos. I was just really stressed because of the initial situation and just trying to deal with that. And then I went to Canada, and I think because that trip was for me, to do a working holiday for 6 months, I think I was finally able to just exhale and just be myself. And yeah, I was in a better place, mentally, physically, emotionally, and it just kind of came back. So I guess I would have a guess to say that it was probably very much stress related. So I think feeling safer and secure just like helped my body go, it's safe, you can do what you like are designed to do now. Like you'll be okay. So
That's so interesting.
yeah.
And from the perspective from me on the outside going, well, you have PCOS, so do I, so does Amy. And there's no solution for you, but really what I'm hearing is I went to a different country, I looked after myself, I was doing the right things with my stress, my sleep, my eating, my physical activity, and addressing all those baseline things in your life can help even out your hormones.
Bring all those things back. Comes back down to the stress ball.
Yeah.
You're doing
and they
things
all
that
feed into
your
each other.
Yeah, your body will start performing at what its base level is meant to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Incredible.
So what's something that you used to think was just normal about your periods that you now know definitely isn't?
I guess just the pain of it. I just assumed that every female had super painful periods, and there'd be days where you just wouldn't be able to function like a normal human. Like there would be times where, you know, even at school, I'd have to get my mum to come and pick me up because I'd just be curled up in a ball at the back of the class, or I'd have to go and sit outside because I was like, I'm going to faint. Or, you know, at work, I'd just go, I just need to go home and just have a nap and sleep it off and just take some super strong painkillers. You know, and I just kind of went, well, that's normal. And then, you know, speaking to other women, they go, oh, mine's like pain-free. And I'm like, okay, like happy for you. But I guess that's not the norm. Like I've just bought into and accepted the fact that they're meant to be painful.
Yeah.
So,
like so many of us.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I really envy those women that have said, you know, like, oh, I never know when it's coming, and it just like appears, and then 3 days later it's gone. I'm like, wait, what?
that's the thing.
That's not normal, you know.
Yeah.
I'm flipping it on them.
Yeah.
So what does a typical bad hormone day look like for you now?
I guess it's kind of changed over the years because I've tried to increase my like understanding of, I guess, how my body works and things like that. A lot of the pain associated with my period, like as of late, like postpartum, has gone away, which has been really surprising. I don't know if my body's just gone, you gave birth earlier this year, we're just gonna let you like enjoy a pain-free experience for a little bit. So that's been nice. But I guess it's just feeling really lethargic and just in a mood for no apparent reason. I still have like hormonal acne. That was actually something I didn't know was a thing. I just thought like post-puberty,
Same.
my face would clear up, and it just hasn't. Yeah. And then I found out that like where like my, I guess, blemishes are, is hormone related. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's not, you know, the products that I'm using or anything like that. It's my hormones. And then I started being a bit kinder to myself with that. Yeah, so I guess it's just, for me, I think it's the moods. Like there'll be days where I wake up and I'm like, man, don't anyone come near me because like you haven't done anything, but I'm just in a mood. And I had one of those days on Thursday and I was just like, I just need to let everyone know that if I'm grouchy, I will try and catch myself, but it's not personal, it's not you. I'm just in a mood. I can't tell you why.
Yeah,
like,
fair.
husband, you are breathing.
Yes. Just don't. Yeah. Or work colleagues, it's like, do not call me.
So how does that affect your relationships with your family and work and friends now?
I think now that I've got a better understanding of it, I try to be a bit more self-aware and just let everyone know. Whereas before, I would kind of just snap and not like apologize for it. I go, oh, I don't know why I'm like in a crappy mood, but I didn't realize it was hormonal. And it's not to make excuses, it's just to make people aware of I'm just not in a great mood. Yeah, so it's like, I don't mean to lash out or seem distant. It's just, I'm just like not in a good headspace today. Yeah, exactly. And I think as well, just with, you know, like painful periods and things like that, when I'm out, I'm like, I just go, okay, I just need to rest. I need to take care of myself right now. Whereas before I would try and push through it. Yeah. And, you know, I feel really bad for letting other people down. It was like this massive inconvenience. And now I'm just like, no, I'm just calling it and I just need to take care of myself right now. So I think I've stopped apologizing for being myself, essentially.
It sounds like you've done really well at putting in boundaries to help you navigate your own hormonal roller coasters, which is so impressive. A lot of people aren't that self-aware. But I'm wondering if there's any tips you have for people like, I mean, I don't even catch myself as quick as you do. That's amazing. So is there anything that happened to help you get there, or tips to help you get into that good routine?
I think like my personal development journey and just kind of beginning to be a bit more in tune with how I'm feeling each day. So like when I wake up in the morning, I think it's just a built-in habit now, but I just kind of check in with myself. Like you just have that inner voice conversation to be like, oh, how are you going? And there'll be some days where I just wake up and I'm like, I'm in a shit mood. Hopefully I can swear. That's good. And so when I know, like when I wake up in that kind of headspace, I go, ooh, like, do I have something on today that I'm dreading or is stressful, or like what's the reason for it? Did I not sleep well? And if I kind of go through my little mental checklist and the answer's no to all of them, and I know that I'm about due to get my period or I am on it, I go, you know what, I think this is hormone related.
Yeah.
And so I just go, you know what, I'm just going to do the best that I can today, and that may not be my optimal or what I would like it to be, but that's all I can do. And I found as well, just letting people know that you're here, but you're just kind of doing your best today. I've found no one has come back and been like, why are you here? Why are you in a bad mood? It's been met with compassion, which has been really nice too. Yeah, amazing. Which I think's made it easier.
That's an amazing effort to get there. We have implemented a little battery system of like, yeah, I'm feeling 100 today, which is normally when you're like ovulating and you're on peak performance. And then some days you just wake up and you're at 60% and you're just like, I am only operating at 60% today, and that's okay. But how do you, in your life, get okay with only performing at 60%?
I had or read in one of Brené Brown's books a few years ago, her and her hubby had a system where they would check in with each other with their energy levels and be like, I've got 50%, I've got 60. And so I just do that for myself now. And I go, okay, how much energy do I have? Where's my battery at today? If it's at 60%, I go, okay, if I can give as close to 100% of that 60, that's my 100% today. So I think I don't go, I have to give 100% today. It's like I can give 100% of whatever I've got today. And that's just made it a lot easier.
It's just simple girl math.
Yeah, exactly. We use it for sales. We can use it for checking in with ourselves and seeing how we're feeling.
I do love the idea of having your own little mental checklist. I think that's a really cool tool that everyone can just implement right now. Like, what are the top 5 things that you find irritate you, whether that's your anxiety, your sleep, your husband, I don't know, whatever the list is to you. Like, it could be anything, but being able to run through that mental checklist and having it is a really cool tool in the morning.
Yeah. Or even at night, or like whenever you kind of feel your like self going. I mean, I don't know about both of you, but I find I tend to have like a sad day, maybe in the lead up to my period, or like really craving chocolate or whatever it is, or feeling like I could just eat the fridge and pantry and then go to the supermarket and get more stuff. And then a few days later, lovely period will arrive and I'm like, yeah. And you think by now, like, I wouldn't get to that point of hindsight, but every month I do, I'm like, that makes sense, like why I was like that day. It's just, so some, like, I don't catch it all the time, but I think it's handy, like, just having those check-ins with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. Powerful.
Do you arm your husband with these tools as well?
Look, he runs his own race. He's really good. I think he's just happy with me checking in with him. I learned when I first started, like as a tangent, my personal development journey, I was like, these tools are amazing. You need to try these. And then he was kind of like, cool, I'm happy for you. And we do it, like we try and do like a gratitude check-in with each other. But I just kind of went, I need to not push these on other people. Like if they want the tools, they will find it in their own time. So he's very supportive, but I guess he just has his own way, and he's like, he's chill as a cucumber. Yeah.
It helps when they're not afraid to talk about periods and period pains.
Yeah,
and
he's really good.
Can try and understand the journey for you. I think that speaks a lot for partners. Yeah.
I only say that because like, even doing all of this that we do with hormones, I'll still have a meltdown day and be crying for no good reason. And I'm like, the world is ending, like it's all happening. I'm just done with everything. And she's like, okay, breathe. You're getting your period tomorrow. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I go on my app and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I need to chill out. Okay, the world isn't ending.
Yeah.
So like arming your partner or your best friend or somebody with the understanding that can catch you in those moments when you can't remember it is so so important because like we forget when we're in our hormonal delusion.
Yeah, I think you do. Like, it's all encompassing, and you're just like in that, and you can't. I feel like you just get that tunnel vision, and you just can't see anything else, and you've got to have someone else be like, "Here's my hand. I will pull you out of it." It's like the quicksand, like hormonal quicksand.
Yeah. It's like you're drowning, but the sand is like literally right there. Like just put your feet down, bro. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so important to have understanding, compassionate people who can help.
Yeah.
And aren't afraid to have those tools as well and help understand you. Like, what a great way to have a relationship.
So how did you find out what worked for you? Was it like trial and error, or did you like lots of research? How did you find what worked for you in your life?
I honestly think just trial and error and just trying different things. I like to use myself as a guinea pig, just in terms of, you know, going, okay, this didn't work, I will try something else. I like knowing the why behind things, and kind of if I know that there's an issue there, I like to keep trying different things until it's resolved, or at least if it can't be resolved completely, it's like, what can I do to best manage it? And I think I'm at a good place now in terms of like my mental checklist and just, you know, being better with like my eating and, you know, hydration and things like that. It's like I've cut out coffee and things. So it's like, what can I do to like reduce the stresses in my life and allow my body to do what it's meant to do without shame or going, oh, I wish I didn't have my period again because it's so convenient, you know, like buying into that bullshit thought and stuff. It's like, no, we're designed to menstruate. We're just what our bodies are designed to do at this point in time.
You talked about your why. What is your why behind what you do?
I guess in terms of personal development, like I don't necessarily think it's about bettering yourself to become like this ultimate version. It's just having tools in your life that you can use to navigate whatever life throws at you, like the daily obstacles and things like that. So you can live from a place of compassion and grace and kindness for yourself and for others. And it's just having emotional awareness as well. It's like not every day is going to be rainbows and sunshines, whether it's, you know, because your hormones are making you think delusional thoughts or you're just hating life or whatever it may be. You know, it's just like, what can you do to kind of make life a little bit easier for yourself and for others? And, you know, especially with hormones and period health, like the topics that you've so beautifully like brought into open conversation in this podcast and with your products and everything. I just think it's really important to have conversations to remind people that they're not alone. It's like your journey is your journey and yours alone, but there are people that have similar stories and experiences, and you might be in the messy middle or you've just found out your diagnosis or whatever it may be. But it's like there is light if you choose it. Like you can definitely give yourself time to like process it and find what works for you, but you know, like it's possible to function at an optimal level, even if it's not the optimal level that you once thought it may have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about how this led you to doing your first book.
So I guess with my first book, From Human Doing to Human Being, I read about 50 like self-help books because it just opened my mind, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know more. Like, give me all the tools, what can I implement? And I realized that a lot of the books that I was reading was from people that had reached peak levels of success. And so some of them would be, you know, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I have a 3-hour morning routine where I do yoga and drink green smoothies, and, you know, I have a sauna and an ice bath. I'm like, yeah, cool, but I'm not.
It's like a whole day event.
Exactly.
Like, how are you doing this in 3 hours?
Exactly. And then, you know, they're a CEO of a very successful company, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you. Like, that's amazing. But, you know, little old me is someone that's working a 9 to 5, and, you know, unless I wake up at 3 a.m., I don't have 3 hours to start my day in the same way. And so I kind of felt like I was failing because I couldn't live up to the expectations of the author who didn't even know me. And so I wanted to write something from a place of, these are the tools that I've tried, you know, across like mindfulness and like physical movement, and I guess repairing the relationship that I had with myself just in terms of self-confidence and self-worth, because a lot of it was tied up in like my weight and appearance. And so I just wanted to write a book from, I guess, the beginner's perspective in terms of, I'm a few steps ahead of you, but here's what I've learned so far. And one of the, I guess, formative topics within that book was definitely around like my weight. And while I was like writing the book, at the beginning of it, I had put on like 10 kilos in the space of a month for like no reason. And I was like, what on earth is happening? Like my diet hasn't changed. Like I'm still sleeping the same. I had no idea what was going on. And so I went to the doctor and she just went, oh, just stop eating fatty foods like bacon and stuff. And I thought, I'm not eating any of that. So cool. So thank you so much for nothing. And just dismissed me. And same with the BMI. She just went, oh, you're kind of like, a little bit overweight. I'm like, okay, thank you.
No one asked you how you had stacked on 10 kilos in a month?
Nope.
That's such an odd...
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I went in there.
Honestly, like, speechless.
Yeah.
It's absurd to go in and say, like, I'm really struggling. Oh, I'll just stop eating fatty foods.
Yeah.
Like you're going through McDonald's drive-thru every day.
Yeah.
Like,
and like I prefaced the conversation.
Just eating fatty foods is the whole reason of stacking on 10 kilos
Yeah.
in a month. Like, that takes a lot of fatty
I know,
food,
that's
right? Like,
yeah.
Super Size Me, didn't that take like a year?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Wow. And so I went in and I said, I'm concerned because I've gained this much weight in a month. And I was like, I don't want it to keep going. Like I was scared because I'm like, if I've done this in a month, like what the hell is going on? Like what's happening? Am I just going to balloon out? And that's when I kind of started looking into like Dr. Libby's books in terms of thyroid and stuff. And I thought, oh, maybe like it's a thyroid issue. And that got dismissed. So I really had to push and be like, can you give me a referral to someone? And they didn't. And so I just went, okay, well, maybe I'll try a naturopath.
no bloods?
They took bloods and they went, your thyroid's like, it's fine. I think it was
I love
kind
it
of
when they're like, it's just, they're not worrying. It's
Yes.
like, bro.
And same with
you're
my
one
iron.
above like where the bottom is, so you're fine. Like,
Yes.
oh gosh, yeah, okay.
And same with my iron as well. So that was like pretty much like red line, which has been, I think as well, like one of my side effects from periods. And they were like, oh yeah, like it's fine. And then I later found out with iron, it's like the normal range is anywhere from like 25 to 120. So I've always been at the low end range.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, it's fine. And I thought, okay, well, there's
I don't feel
clearly
fine.
something.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started like the fad diets and stuff, and my like self-confidence really took a hit and everything. And yeah, it kind of took 2.5 years for that weight to like finally come off.
It's so hard with PCOS.
Yes.
The second you make the wrong step and it starts stacking on, it will take you years to get off.
Yeah. And I was trying everything. I was doing my exercise, like trying to eat as clean as I could. And yeah, just nothing like worked. And I think it came down to my iron levels because I started taking iron supplements like more consistently. And then the weight just seemed to fall off. And I just thought, if you had listened to me at the start, or if I wasn't aware, if I didn't self-educate about finding out about thyroid and like iron and how, it's like you can still be at the low end but still be normal, I don't think it would have changed anything. Wow. So, yeah.
So how did you learn to advocate for yourself when you're getting told like you're fine?
I
and
knew.
You're clearly not.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
I think I just got to a point where, like, especially with the doctor when she said stop eating fatty food, I was really mad. Like I think I was 25 at the time. And I just thought, like, you don't know my diet. Like I've come in here and shared something so vulnerable. Like I was on the verge of tears because I'm like, there is something wrong and I'm freaked out and I need help. And then that was the response I got was don't eat fatty foods. And I just thought, wow, like that is not helpful at all. And then I went and saw a naturopath and I think he was more interested in getting money than actually helping. And I know that's not the case of all naturopaths because there are some that are incredible, same with GPs. But he just went, oh, just go into a calorie deficit. And again, once I heard those words come out of his mouth, I got really angry because I was like, granted, he didn't know my backstory, but I thought, I have finally got to a point where I'm not in a restrictive binge eating cycle. I am eating intuitively and I'm actually in a good space. And you're telling me to go into a calorie deficit. I was like, I'm not putting myself through that because I know that if I do that, I'm just going to go full obsession mode. And I was like, I can't put myself into that. And I was like, there's got to be another option. And so I think I just didn't want to accept those two answers. And the stubborn part of me came out.
Like,
yeah.
How How amazing for you to be like, no, I'm not going down that mental turmoil again.
It took 15 years to get out of that, and I was like, I'm not putting myself back in there. I was like, I can't do it. So yeah, that's when I was reading like Dr. Libby's books and finding out about thyroid health, and I was doing like celery juices. So whenever I see celery now, I'm like, I was like, I can't. Yeah, and cucumber juices. But I think I don't know, I felt so strongly. I was like, there is something underlying here. There's something not right. And I was like, I know my body better than anyone else, and I know that there's something not right. So I was like, I just have to keep pushing. And I think it can get really disheartening when it feels like you're just banging your head on a brick wall. But if you know deep down that there's something not right, I think you just got to keep, like, whether it's self-education or just, you know, like maybe doctor or naturopath shopping or whatever it may be, it's like, it may seem like dodgy or not the best thing to do, but like, you deserve answers. And I think you just have to keep pushing for yourself.
Yeah, and what's right for your body.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really listened to your body and you knew that dieting was not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So you're so resilient to be able to be told that time and time again and not fold at them saying it's your weight. That is so hard to do. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. It gives a lot of people hope to know you're not going crazy. You don't have to listen to what they're saying to you. Your body is telling you the right things. Just listen to her.
Yeah. And I think having that self-trust, like, that's how you, I guess, build that relationship with yourself. Because it's like you do. You seek help because you know there's something not right. And I think it's easy to go, okay, like, to accept it, which I totally get. And I mean, I did that when I was 20. And I guess I learned from that and just went, nah, there's something not right here. And, like, I will find someone that's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Even if I have to really push, even if it feels uncomfortable, because it's like, I deserve answers and I deserve to feel better.
Yep. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
You kept going to find answers because a lot of people just don't, like, for many reasons. Could be money, could be tired, they're just done with it all. They don't want to deal with the medical system anymore. And they just go, okay, this is it now. And then they don't flourish and live to their peak life, you know.
Which is so shitty and heartbreaking.
Yeah. Going from 20, getting told that you can't have kids, to now a new mum. Walk us through that story.
Yeah, I don't know, just, 20, told I couldn't have kids. Before I got married to my hubby, we actually sat down and I said to him, look, right now, I don't know if I want kids, but I also don't know if I can. And I was like, I understand if, don't want to cry with this. Like, I understand if you don't want to marry me, if kids are something that's like an absolute for you, because I was like, I don't know if I can give you that. Like, I will love you as best I can, but I was like, I don't know if I can give you that. And he was really good. He was like, look, we'll just, like, we're married. So he accepted my proposal. But yeah, like, you know, he was really supportive. And then we kind of I think we both were 29. And there was this little, I guess, whisper coming from my heart to be like, there's something, like, there's an empty space here. And I thought, maybe we'll sit down and have a conversation and explore, like, if we're ready to try. And again, it was, don't know if it's going to happen because I got told no, like, maybe we just give it a go and see what happens. And a few months later, I fell pregnant, which ended in a miscarriage. But I realised that I actually would like to be a mum if it was possible. So it happened during a very busy time. So we kind of got through all of that, and then a few months later, we were like, okay, we're ready to, like, try again. And I was very much on the fence because I was like, if we have another miscarriage, I was like, I don't think I'm strong enough to, like, go through it again.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot, I think, whenever you go through something traumatic. And then we fell pregnant within the next month. So it was very quick. That was really nice, scary, because I was just like, the first ultrasound was where we found out previously that it wasn't viable. And I was like, praying for a heartbeat, and thankfully there was one there, and, like, he's safe and healthy and the happiest little guy and very chill. But yeah, it's definitely a process, and thankfully we didn't need any medical intervention. I was very slack. I didn't go and see a doctor to be like, oh, I've been told, you know, got PCOS before. We were just kind of like, we'll see what happens. Like, if we don't, we've got 2 puppies, it's fine. Like, we love our life.
Yeah, you guys just got to have the fun event and
Yeah. And, like, I know that's not the case for every woman that has PCOS as well. You know, I think every story and journey is different. And yeah, I think just having the conversations and also not dismissing what other people are going through as well.
Yeah, we can learn a lot from each other.
Yeah, and I don't think we do it intentionally or from like a malicious place, but you know, I would never turn around to another woman that's got PCOS and be like, oh, but I conceived naturally, even though I was told I could never have kids, because like, yes, that's my experience, but that may not be the case. Like there's different levels, you know, we've got endo in that as well, and cysts and everything. So it's just like, you don't know the like severity or the extent of PCOS that another woman has, or like,
Or the type even. Like
Yes.
the three of us in this room,
Yeah.
none of us present with the same
Exactly.
like symptoms. Mine and Heidi's are completely different.
Yeah.
I have high testosterone and she has none. So like, you know, we came from the same mother. So
Yeah.
it should be the same, but you know, it's just not.
Yeah.
So
And I
you
think
just never know.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing as well. It's like, unless you start doing a lot more research into PCOS, I think you just kind of go, oh, we've all got the same thing, but there's so many nuances to it as well. And, you know, in different symptoms and like, I guess, ways to manage it as well. And, you know, I guess it's just embracing that and acknowledging that everyone's journey is different. Like, yes, you might have the same label,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
Different colours, different fonts, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your story is so beautiful because you've come from a place of like, you know, from your 20s and then the growth that you've done, your self-healing, your, you know, journey to understanding and knowing your body naturally, getting your hormones right. And then it led to a place that ultimately you weren't sure it was going to be where you wanted to go, but it's the story that you had. And I think that's really, really impressive. So powerful, an amazing story.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for letting me share it.
Yeah, of course. And being so vulnerable as well. I know it's really, really hard to talk about. When you're told you can't have kids and then you are trying to enter into a relationship and you're not really sure what your future looks like, that is probably one of the hardest things I've had to face in my journey is, yeah, I mean, and you at such a young age too, which is so, so unfortunate. You guys both had this reality at 20, such a vulnerable age. But it's something I've never really been able to put into words correctly to share the severity of how traumatic it can be.
I feel like it's worse than sitting down to break up with someone, because
Yeah.
it's just like there's that lump in your throat and it's like, you know that you want to have that conversation with them, but at the same time you're like, this can literally go one of two ways.
Yeah.
And you just go, I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
And like, it's so hard because
Yeah.
you don't,
It's hard, yeah.
yeah.
It's a
And
tough
then when do you
conversation.
have that conversation as well? It's like,
Yeah.
It's,
But and the conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I had to have a really, really honest conversation with myself. Like, is this the future I want? Because you paint a picture of your life and then all of a sudden that's gone. Let's take the picture down and start drawing again. What does that picture look like? And it's such a vulnerable place to be in. It's such a scary place to be in. I'm really thankful you shared your story. I really resonate with it. So thank you for that.
I agree with like you've got to like start again.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard because, you know, society as well. And again, some of the inspo behind my first book in terms of being a being rather than a doing is going, okay, what do I actually want from life? Like, what do I want?
Yes.
What, you know, rather than what society tells me. And it probably sounds a bit hypocritical because like I've probably checked some of the things off, but I've gone, okay, but I genuinely like want to do this. And I think when you can live from that place of like, this is what I want, like even if it, you know, matches some of the checklist items, then it's like, cool, but I'm doing it for me, not for anyone else. Yeah. And yeah, it's like when we're told, it's like, oh, you've got to have kids. And it's like, okay, but do I want them? Can I have them? Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I think even getting asked that as well is incredibly hard because, you know, again, like looking at all three of us, you wouldn't know what we've been told previously. And same with like the listeners as well, if they've had similar experiences. Yeah. It's like you could have been told you can't have kids. So when people ask you that, it's like they don't know, but it's like, how do I even answer this? Do I tell you like my full story, or do I just say, I choose not to?
Yes, exactly.
Of why I'm here right
Navigating
now
this
is
it's so hard too because like even though you're like, oh, I can't have kids, I've got PCOS, it's like, well, you can do IVF. Okay, well, I did that and it didn't work. Oh, well, you can adopt. Like there are options. It's like, well, hang on a second. When I went through this and when you went through this, you just explained that something similar, this crossroads that ultimately was like, I will never forget this crossroads where it's, you can keep doing IVF, sure, but it is killing me.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Figuratively. then you make this ultimate decision, like, do I keep doing it or do I not? And then like that power lies within you.
Yeah.
So then when you make the ultimate decision, like, okay, my future, I have to decide what my future looks like now. Do I keep doing this or not? It's like, that's such a big crossroads. And it's hard to go through it. And then when you're talking to someone and they're trying to push you into, why don't you want kids? It's like, well, just, can you, let me go back. You just go back to that traumatic crossroads in your head and you're like, this is why. Like, I thought I was going to die. But you can't, how do you explain these journeys to?
Yeah, it's the emotional cost associated with it, and like it's that internal battle that you have with yourself. Like I knew that if we couldn't conceive naturally, like I said to my hubby, I was like, I don't want to do IVF because I was like, I don't have the emotional capacity to do it. And I take my hat off, not that I wear hats, but if I was wearing a hat, I would take my hat off to any woman and couple that have gone through it, because it's like emotionally, mentally, physically, financially exhausting. And like going through that, making the decision to try it, but also knowing when, you know, maybe you've had enough tries without success. Like I feel like that's so incredibly heartbreaking and so strong of you to face that as well, because like I don't have any words for that, but like that's just so hard to go through.
Like silently just bond, like you just know what each other have mentally gone through in that turmoil. So yeah,
but like you have my full empathy, and I just like it's hard, but then it's again,
you can't put it into words. Like how do you describe this feeling to people? It's
unless they've gone through something like similar or have such strong levels of empathy and compassion to be like, I hear you, like I see you, and like I understand. But maybe it's like, can we stop asking that question or saying that you're only valuable if you are
having
a mum? Because I don't think that's the only way that we can be valuable. You know, like I just do not agree with that at all.
There's more purpose in life, and I think like for me that was the self-discovery of like, who am I and what is my purpose now?
And then look at this, like, you know, you're both, if we want to use the term mums in like that capacity, but you know, like you're a mum to all of the women that need this space to pull up a chair and feel safe, seen and heard. You know, I think that's incredible. And the product that you've designed, the community that you've built, that's a reflection of that, to be like, here, we've got you. We will be your safe space.
We will, and we do. We've got you all.
That's why we're opening up the floor to everybody, so that we can hear more of these stories and know that like we're not all going through this alone. It is scary and stressful, and there is probably somebody who has walked this path in front of you, so find them and ask for advice and
walk with them.
Somebody might only be 2 steps in front, but it's better than the person that got to the end and is having a 3 a.m. sauna. So what gives you hope for women's health in the future?
I think platforms like this and like products that you're both beautifully creating with this intention, but I think it's the fact that as a collective we're all starting to speak up a lot more and advocate for ourselves. And I think hearing stories of other women that are advocating, it makes you go, okay, like I can advocate for myself. And the more voices are heard and the more that we all push forward as a collective, there's going to be progress. And I think it's tiring, but that's what needs to be done, I think. And, you know, we'll get to a point where there'll be future generations of women that don't have to scream and shout, because there's going to be the research, there's going to be the products, there's going to be the support and assistance there to help them navigate their journey. So hopefully, you know, it's like what we've gone through, they're going to be supported a little bit more. And I think that's, you know, that's the hope.
Is the hope. That's why we're here. You speak so well. I'm always so impressed to sit down and talk to you. Thank you so much. But we do have a fun section we're going to kick off with. It's our rapid fire questions in 60 seconds, all to do with your period.
If only they were 60 seconds long each month, that would be great.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What's your go-to comfort food during your period?
Peanut butter.
One thing you can't live without when you're hormonal?
Probably my sanity.
Best piece of advice you've ever received about women's health?
Trust yourself and know your body.
Your favourite way to practice self-care?
Checking in with myself and just giving myself self-acceptance and kindness.
What's your period tracking app?
Flow.
Biggest hormone myth you believed for far too long?
Oh my gosh, period should be painful.
See, it doesn't even roll off the tongue.
Doesn't even come out.
Weirdest place you've ever had your period?
Look, probably on a plane.
Yeah? One thing you wish your teenage self knew about periods?
You don't have to be curled up in a ball and, you know, on the verge of fainting and passing out. Like, it's not normal. Get help.
Not normal. Well done. You did it just in time. We're on 1 minute. Perfectly.
Peanut butter?
Yeah.
Like just out of the...
It's honestly, it's my disgusting habit.
Is it crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm stressed, like, I don't know, I just go to the peanut butter.
That's so funny.
It's so weird and I judge myself for it, but it's just...
I'm not judging, it's just different. Like,
It might be the fats. Like
Yeah,
I find
might be
sometimes I
the-
really want
yeah.
peanut butter toast, and I feel it's because I want the peanut fats from it.
But it was really weird. While I was pregnant, I was off peanut butter. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what am I meant to eat? And then after, like, postpartum, I got the taste back and I was like, yes.
Just peanut butter every night. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, let's pause what we're doing and grab some tissues because it's story time. This is our community spotlight, the magical moment where we prove that no matter what you have gone through with your hormones, someone in our sisterhood has been there too. Because here's the thing, you never walk alone through this journey.
No, you do not. Today's story?
Today's story comes from
Emma. She's a 34-year-old teacher, so we let our community write into us, share their stories with us, and we like to share them so everyone can resonate. So she's a teacher who reached out to us to share her journey. She calls this her darkest period, literally. For 3 years, my hormones were completely out of control. I was dealing with bleeding that had taken over my life, changing super tampons every hour, calling in sick to work monthly and feeling like a prisoner in my own body. But that's just the physical symptoms. My anxiety was through the roof and I had brain fog so bad I could barely function as a teacher. And the weight gain, no matter what I tried, which is what we spoke about a lot today. The breaking point came when I realised I was planning my entire life around avoiding my period. Vacations, work, events, everything had to be around whether or not I'd be bedridden with pain and exhaustion. I felt like I was disappearing in my own life. I know. Then I found the Khush place, and for the first time, someone was talking about hormones in a way that made sense. It wasn't about masking my symptoms, it was about understanding that my body was trying to tell me. I started making changes with my diet, learning how to manage stress, and actually listening to what my body needed instead of fighting against it. It's been 6 months now, and I can't believe how different I feel. My cycles are predictable for the first time in years. My energy doesn't crash every afternoon, and I feel like myself again. The confident woman I thought I'd lost forever. Oh. I'm not planning my life around my periods anymore. I'm just living it.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So thanks, Emma, for sharing. I always get so teary because I just feel so connected to these women. I just
But
do.
like 3 years at minimum and just fighting against your body. It's like, I think we've all been there where you just go, I just want you to work the way that I think you should, rather than kind of going, okay, I'm going to listen to you, tell me what you need. And I think that's so amazing that Emma's been able to do that. And then she's like living her life now. But also like planning trips around periods. It's like, I've done that. I don't know about you guys. Yeah.
sitting on your app going, no, I'm not going on holiday that week because...
I think we all do. Like even just work events and things. Like I cannot do a presentation today. That's not going to go well. Yeah.
So many different things to consider. It's not as easy as like, am I free this day? It's like, will I be on my period then? Because it's like, it just...
On the flip side of not knowing when your period is coming though, and then just like you hope that it's not then because it's so irregular, and then bam, it's when you're on holiday in Bali in your bikini, and boom, of course it's now.
I didn't invite you.
You were not invited.
Did you even pass immigration? Like,
Okay, before we go, Tash, where can people find you? What are you doing now? What is your next venture?
you can find me on Instagram at Tash_Leam or Facebook as well. So it's Leam. And I have a website, so tashleam.com. And at the moment, I am in the process of writing my third book. This one's going to be on motherhood, and that's all I'm going to say. And I am also getting my human design website set up, so I'll be doing one-on-one readings. But otherwise, like, people are welcome to, flick a message my way. Always happy to, be a sounding board or share any advice or hold space. And yeah.
I love your website because you've got amazing self-help tools on there that are all free digital downloads and things like that. So make sure you head over and check it out. Trialed and tested by Tash herself.
And us, I really found the mid-year check-in very useful, and I keep some of those, the little tools that worked for me to keep on my fridge for when I'm in my little spiral and I can't figure out what's going on. I'm like, okay, come back and just check in with myself again.
Yeah.
Tried and tested by us as well. Okay, and don't forget to go over to the Khush Place where you can find all the latest on us, and DM us on the socials if you would like to chat. And remember that you deserve to thrive with balanced hormones and pain-free periods. Until next time, stay Khush!